All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So this is a viewer request video on tickers we've actually looked at not that long ago. QBTS monster double-digit day, all right? MBOT looking really interesting as well. So both I'm excited to talk about, but for sure, I gotta stress these last 3 days, all right? I know this would have scared a lot of people. All right, it would have scared me. I had no money in this. I'll be honest with you. So I'm talking with no money, and it's easy to. But these two candles are very scary unless you have the 8 moving average, in my opinion, telling you, hey, it's okay. We're still over the line. Don't get scared just yet. Don't do anything stupid just yet, because I'm coming to save you. That's what happens when this line is your friend. That's what happens if you lose this one and you still have this one as your friend. You know what I'm saying? So I love these lines for a reason, and I think this captures it pretty well. That said, we'll go deeper in the details for sure, but what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this thing all over the internet, comment good or bad. Anything you can do really does help with the YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time is super appreciated, okay? Yeah, with that, let's get into it. Again, beautiful movement. Look, this is a monster recent runner. I'm going to call this a viewer request because that is what it was. But, oh man, when you're talking nearly 20% on a single day, that is a recent monster runner for sure, all right? Don't let it have to be like 30, 40, 60, 80, 100 plus to make it, you know, sound like it's a good day, all right? More than anything, I actually really care less about like the monsterness of this and just the beautiful reaction to the 8 moving average, all right? You can see what happened. Look how long it's been. It becomes so impossible to break the 8, to break the 20, break the 8, break the 20. Here we get to, but then there was another one. You know what I mean? Like, these lines are your worst enemy, or a stock's worst enemy when they're not on your side. However, very quickly, the tides can change, and when you time it well, oh my gosh, it becomes almost impossible to fall off this line. And that's where you want your money, right? Like, you don't want to be averaging down under this. I'm telling you, no. You want to be averaging up with that. That is the game. You know what I mean? So lovely movement here. And I like that we're well over 50% candle. I mean, I think it's well over it. That's super easy to say. And honestly, at this point, are we over? Yeah, hell yeah. Where are we with this? Not quite. All right. Either way, I'm going to put the line right here. I don't think I'm going to back it up to that one. And then what happens after there? Jesus, a lot of good happens after there. We're pretty much coming here almost to 200. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, cool. This is the lines right here. That's a nice little gap right there too, because 20% would take you to $2, and then there's another 30 cents between that with maybe, if anything, just that. Yeah, I would love a 168 alert for sure. Let me know if we're a penny over that. That sounds awesome for a QBTS. And I'll be real honest with you. I think it's very arguable that you can set a 152 alert. I'll set a 153. Why not? Let's go a couple pennies higher. There is a lot to like. Look, obviously we ran really hot, right? Our RSI was hitting 88.50. That's a high number, all right? It's very likely that it's going to need to come down, and it came down to the 70s, and all of a sudden, hopefully it's ready to go back up, right? Volume was looking good again, coming back to basically a little better than even the average of these 3, right? I would pretty much call the average on right about there, right? So I like that this single candle looks like it's about or better than the average of these 3. I was making sure I said that right. I know I said that a couple times, but today was a good day. Today I think was a hey, I'm not done with this 8 moving average day. It really looks like tomorrow we're going to see a nice golden cross, right? When a lower one crosses a bigger one, that 20 should be golden crossing the 100 if I had to guess tomorrow, if not by Monday for sure, right? But Yeah, again, I think it's very fair to call 230 the target. And in all honesty, it's not, you know, out of the realms to call 277 the actual target, because that is where the last moving average is, right? We've broken this one, went to this one, broke this one, went to this one, just broke this one, should be wanting to come to this one, right? So that's how this thing works. So I am very, very much loving what I'm seeing here. So yeah, lots to love, really lots to love. And again, where are we on the weekly? We are over all the moving averages on the weekly. Yep, there's only 2, but I don't care. We're over all of them, right? If all of them was 5, if all of them was 3, if all of them is 2, all is all, baby. So a lot to love on QBTS. What was the next one I was going to do? Oh, man, give me 1 second. Oh, I forgot. I got to pause this real quick and look at it. Sorry. It was MBOT. I completely forgot. Okay, MBOT. Perfect. Okay, let's talk MBOT real quick. Not quite the same as QBTS, because again, QBTS came down, hit the 8, and went back up. This guy actually lost the 8, and it actually stayed under the 8. I know today looks like a really nice 10% double-digit gain. I'm not the biggest fan that we couldn't get over the 8 moving average. Did we get over this day? Okay, we at least got over this day. Obviously, this is the more important candle. We are nowhere near 50% candle either, right? So I don't know how excited I am that we beat this. I think I'm more disappointed that we couldn't close a couple pennies higher and getting us over that 8, right? I think end of the day, this is the money line, right? I will actually. I'm going to set an alert for 239. I'm going to set it for 241. I am. Actually, give me a few cents over this blue line, but it's not going to be easy getting over that right there, because there's one right there and one not that far from it, right? Breaking one moving average is hard. Breaking 2 together is that much harder, right? So I don't know how easy it will be. That said, yeah, if we can get into the 240s, it looks like there should be a really nice run to the 340s, right? Basically adding $1 on a stock that doesn't have that many dollars. That's a sexy, sexy trade right there. And there's not a lot happening, right? As I look, where would this line put us? Yeah, there's not that much. And really, especially between 250. Oh, man, no, yeah, either way, I'm not going to change my alert. But yeah, get me over the blue line, and there's a lot of reason to believe it's going to come here. Honestly, there's not even that many resistances I would put. I think I'd put one here. That looks like basically the bottom of this guy and 50% of that guy. I think that's a good line to have right there. Otherwise, that's it. Yeah, that's kind of all I see between the blue and the purple lines, right? So I would be very interested over it. Again, I have to stress, I don't think it's going to be that easy to close over it. You know, we might wick it, right? And be careful. Don't let it fake you out. And I hope you know how to know that, right? But wait for the close, see what the close does, and let you believe that we're over this blue line heading here, or be honest with yourself that we couldn't, and we're actually probably going to head down here, right? I could see 164 happening. I can see 175 happening. Very, very worst case would be 160. You do not want to go lower than 160, but truth be told, I don't think we'd go much lower than like 165, hopefully 175, okay? Again, I'm going to say it one more time. I know that there was like a wild target on this thing. I think it was like over the 20s, all right? We are not going to even talk above $10 on a $2 stock, all right? So little by little, keep it as is, but I'm telling you, going from the blue line to the purple line, that is some fat money if it happens, all right? So patience. Don't get greedy. I promise you it'll do you well over time. This is a good weekly. It's not a fantastic weekly, but hey, we're at least holding this 8 that we gapped over. We're kind of making a doji from what it seems like, right? Unless tomorrow does something wild. And it's basically kind of saying next week will be really telling. And I think next week, assuming that we close relatively like this, next week either comes to this 277 line, maybe we could call it 263. I think that might be a little better since we're looking here. I think next week either comes to 263, or honestly, it might come as low as like $1.80. I can really see that. Maybe this $2, maybe we'll call it a little closer to 50%, but yeah, the candle after the doji is generally very telling. You know what I mean? And it's going to take a Friday, a full week to close it, but yeah, MBOT looks looking interesting. I'll say that. And I think how we close compared to the blue line is really going to be what matters here. So let me quickly flash ARQQ really quickly. Again, this is another quantum stock. QBTS did well, right? We saw a nice little move. What I'm seeing right here is a nice uptrend, almost picture perfect doji sitting right at the gap, right? I think tomorrow, what does this thing look like after hours? Hasn't moved yet. Oh man, this one is on the verge, and I think tomorrow will be very telling. I think tomorrow, oh man, and look, we're at least in the positive. We have a nice RSI in a good place. Tomorrow will be very telling, all right? We're either going to come to this 150 and maybe try to go higher, or, yeah, we might drop into the 120s, 118. I can see that. But this is definitely a really interesting setup with the doji at a very interesting day. Day after the doji is generally important. I'm telling you that. So, hey, let me know what you think. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you.